Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lamenters. In the last episode, we left off with a little bit of a curious situation. As the group had split up to make sure that the prisoners weren't up to any mischief, and Bane was recovering from finding himself unconscious on the floor, the group had searched for the missing Vincenzo, who apparently left out the window of his room. But after Oldrad and Bivoj had looked out the window, did not see anything in the backyard indicating any footprints, any people in the back fleeing the area. The group split up to search. Bivoj stayed in the room that Vincenzo had been occupying. Shortly thereafter, another thump was heard, and the group found Bivoj slumped down on the floor in Vincenzo's room. This time, however, at the end of the hallway, the shutters were open to the window at the end of the hallway, and Sarah, approaching, had found that there was a rope tied around the heavy wooden chair at the end of that hallway, leading out the window. So we pick up right there. Sarah, you and Bane had kind of gone down the hallway to investigate this. You look out the window, and you don't see anyone in the alley, either leading towards the street or to the back of the property where the inn resides.
Look directly down.
You look directly down. You see that this rope indeed is more than adequate to get down to ground level. In fact, looks like there's a whole bunch of rope that's just spooled up on the ground. So maybe you figure that this is probably like a length of maybe 50 or 60 feet of rope. And, no more than 5 feet of it was used to loop around the heavy wooden chair, and the rest of it's just pulled down on the ground.
Well,
are there any windows? Are there any windows below our window? Like, are there any other? Is there another level of windows at all?
No. Curiously, you don't see any windows. There is a door, however, and based on your location, and the doors kind of leads further back to the back of the yard. You feel like maybe that is a door that would lead to the kitchen area based on your understanding of the layout of the building. There's no light other than moonlight to speak of, though.
Well, I'll haul up that rope.
Okay.
And wind it up and keep it.
It seems to be well made.
So about 50 feet?
It's not like silk, but it's just, it's a hemp rope, but it's like well made. It's not, it's not
about 50
made.
feet?
Yes.
Okay.
I think my military instincts kick in, and I want to try to surround all the entryways and exitways. Have one person that covers
Who are
his
you
room.
telling this strategy to? Because right now it's
just the two of us. So
Okay.
I need us to get back, get the party back together.
Right. You walk back down the hall. You go into the room with Jeffrey, who is knocked out. And who is in that room again? Is that?
I think just Critter.
Okay, Critter's in the room with knocked out Jeffrey. And then in the
maybe
other
Liber
room
was there as well.
Yeah, in the other room with Karamina would be Leonard and Liber and Oldrad.
It seems to me that there are only 2 or 3 ways in and out of this place. You can't have gotten far. We should...
Time out. Just for clarification, do you ask the members of your party to come out in the hallway to talk about this, or are you talking about this in front of Karamina?
Oh, no, we're in Jeffrey's room.
Oh, shit.
I just need to know who's where. I mean, this matters. So
I feel like I just came back and ran into the room. So I probably would have busted in there talking.
Okay, you guys see Bane. He looks intense. Do you guys stay in the room to talk to Bane, or do you kind of all move out into the hallway or into one of the other rooms? Because Karamina is quite conscious. Jeffrey is unconscious in the other room.
I'm staying in the room.
Okay, Oldrad, you stay with Karamina.
Swords
Liber,
out.
okay, I need to know if Liber, Leonard, and Claude are then going to go out in the hallway to talk to Bane and Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
hallway.
Oldrad is staying, if someone is staying, Leonard goes.
Okay. So the other 3 of you go out in the hallway. Bane, proceed.
There does not seem to be too many ways in or out of this place, and he couldn't have gotten far. So I feel that we need to send someone down to the kitchen area to see if that door that we saw outside is the same door that goes into the kitchen. That's one exit possibility. One is the other side of the building through the front door and around to the right. Another is here watching the rooms and watching the windows in the back area. So there is enough of us to do that without causing any harm.
Bill, the area outside that window, was that a closed area?
So the windows in your rooms and the room that Vincenzo was in all open to the back of the yard of the inn. So you remember that there's an outhouse and then there's like a bathhouse and then there's just like a yard. Yeah. And it's got like a wooden, fence. Nothing like anyone could climb over the fence. It's not a significant like walled in area. But there is a fence. So that area is enclosed. The alley along the side where the hallway window went out to is just an alley between the inn and an adjacent building. And then the front of the building is along the main street of Ingner.
Okay, so the rope he may have gone down through, ended in the alleyway/open area.
Yes.
Okay. Now beyond the yard, is it forest? Is it town? Is it?
Oh, it's like there's like another block of buildings behind.
Okay.
We're basically in the center of town, so
yeah, like cottages where people live. Okay. Like the kind of buildings that Melania has a cottage. She doesn't have like a shop.
And is it still dark outside?
Oh yeah. Side note for time. You guys have about 1 hour until you are supposed to meet with the leadership of Ingner. Just if you recall, you guys had requested a meeting with them.
Yeah, I think he's long gone at this point. He was able to hide from us in the room when we were searching. I think we're best to make time and get to our meeting.
I would just do one thing. One of the persons stay upstairs and look out the window, and somebody go and check the outhouse if he's not there, because it would be shame to miss that way.
All right, who is going to check the outhouse and the bathhouse?
Bane? May I make a suggestion? I think Claude should take Critter into the bedroom, have him sniff at the bed, so Critter can help trying to locate at least which direction he went.
Well, Critter is in no real condition to do anything.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and I think that basically he probably is long gone, but if anyone is staying to watch the two prisoners, I think, by the way, it was the door to Vincenzo's room. That one came off its hinges, right?
Yes.
All right. So that door is not going back up anyway soon.
Not really.
Okay. Makes it easier to keep an eye on that room as well.
Okay. So
I would say that if anyone stays to be sitting in the hallway, basically keeping an eye out, because then you have both rooms you can check, and you can see if anyone comes up and tries to go into Vincenzo's room.
Okay. Well,
Leonard, are you going to go outside into the backyard to check those buildings?
No, Leonard goes to the window upstairs, which rope is gone, lights the lantern, and just looks outside if there's anything.
Okay.
And waits.
Is anyone else going to the backyard to check those buildings?
I'm going to the outhouse.
Okay, so Bane, you are going. Claude, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so Leonard, you're looking out the window into the backyard. You have your lantern. Bane and Claude, you guys go down the stairs, around, through the tavern, through the kitchens, and through the back door. Leonard, you see Bane and Claude, maybe 2 minutes later, emerging into the backyard. You guys walk over towards the outhouse.
Yeah.
The door is closed. You see flickering light inside. Like, not bright, just maybe a candle.
Yeah.
I'll rap on it.
hear a voice say, I'm in here. I'll be out in a minute. Sounds like an older man.
Well, don't be too long. I really need to go.
All right. You hear some shuffling around, and then momentarily the door opens. You see an older man, probably in his 50s, kind of dirty looking, like, probably some kind of laborer who works along the docks. And you see he's holding a candle, like on a little stick, and he comes out of the outhouse. It is evident by the smell that he has recently used the outhouse for its fullest potential. And he kind of grumbles and looks past you guys and starts walking back towards the end.
As he comes out, and just put my hand on his shoulder and thank you, and kind of shuffle him along.
Okay.
To see if I can really touch this guy or.
You can't. He is real, and he's doesn't really react one way or the other. He just kind of nods to you and starts walking.
And just for show, I'm gonna go into the outhouse. And probably try and hold my breath for a bit.
Okay.
Just to make it seem as I'm really going in there.
You hold the lantern up. It's a pit. It has solids and liquids in it.
Mm-hmm.
It smells. There's flies.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem.
I'm staying there for maybe 10-20 seconds till he's basically back in the inn.
You don't see anything other than the contents of the pit.
Yeah.
Bane?
I hold the signet ring up to him, and I say, "Does this mean anything to you?" And then I roll for insight.
That's
the old man.
I'm gonna make a roll, just out of fairness, using the handy dandy Google Dice roller. He has a 1 in 20 chance of knowing the significance of that ring. He goes, "Nope. Looks like it's worth some money, though."
All right. As you were.
Okay, you guys have checked the outhouse. Do you want to check the bathhouse?
Yep.
All right. You open the door to the bathhouse. There are like 4 candles burning. No one is in the bathhouse. The bathtub has water in it, but it is clearly water that is cold and has been used. You see some towels on the cupboard kind of next to the bathhouse, next to the bathtub. Doesn't look very different from how you last saw it, Claude.
Okay. I'm going to check that pile of the stack of towels where I found that ring. Or what was it?
The necklace?
Yeah.
The bracelet? Yeah. You do. You don't see the necklace.
Yeah. I think I took it with us, but just to check if there's
anything. Yeah, there's nothing else different that you see.
All right. I guess he's not here then.
Well, let's go back to the tavern and see if anyone has seen anything.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't think he came down the stairs because the 2 of us were downstairs and didn't see anything.
Smash cut. Sarah, what are you doing during this time?
Well, I'm going to do a little more damage to the inn's property, unfortunately. Okay. I'm going to fashion 2 blindfolds and 2 gags.
So you tear up some of the linens and fashion blindfolded gags, presumably for Jeffrey and Karamina?
Yeah. No, actually for Veet.
So you go ahead and you do that. You kind of wake Jeffrey up because he was knocked unconscious, but
oh, I'm not going to put him on yet. Just
okay. All right. So
just make him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liber, what are you doing during this time?
I'm gonna open the door to the room Jeffrey's in. I'm gonna stand like in the doorway.
Okay.
So I can kind of like keep an eye on the other room, on Jeffrey, on the hallway.
Okay, so you've got a good kind of split view of the hallway, the stairs that come up to the second floor, and the room and Jeffrey. Jeffrey still seems to be knocked out. Oldrad, you are alone in Karamina's room by yourself.
I am just listening intently for any footsteps that may come into the room.
Like you can hear Liber next door. You can hear sounds of like linens being torn or cut. Karamina's been relatively quiet since the revelation that she gave Sarah about Sarah's family. But at a certain point, she looks at you and she says, "It's not too late. There's still time. You could release me."
What is that going to do for us?
I've already told you, you and your friends would be owed a boon by my house, by me. She says I could fulfill that boon in any number of ways that are within my dominion of power. She says, I know that you have questions. I know that your group seeks understanding, and I could help you with that. It's not too late.
I'm going to shake my head.
She nods. Well, at the very least, if you are intent on returning me to Lee Castle for judgment, then perhaps we could do so in a carriage rather than by foot or on horseback.
We'll see. Probably the horses, because that's what we got.
I suppose I'm not in a position to bargain or negotiate.
Nope, you're not.
She kind of nods. You know what? And at a certain point, she lays back down on the bed. She's not asleep or trying to pretend to be asleep. She's just laying on the bed, and you just see her kind of looking up at the ceiling at the flickering candlelight. Bane, you and Claude are still outside. You have searched the bathhouse. You go back into the tavern. The tavern is full of people. You look around, you don't see anyone bearing a remote resemblance to Vincenzo. Most of the people that you see here seem like the kind of people who live in this region. They're basically fair-skinned people who look like they are from the northern part of the Borderlands. To you, it's pretty apparent that they are, from the northern part of the Borderlands. You're fairly certain as well that most of them seem to be from Angner, although you do see like a few people who are wearing not actually they wouldn't be wearing it, but like you see some people who are seated at tables who have heavier like jackets that they've taken off inside the warmth of the tavern, but like have them draped over their chairs. Those heavier jackets look more like something that someone would wear from the Lee County area where it's a little cooler by the mountains. But most of these people look like they're from the Geos ethnic group, fair-skinned people.
What have I got on me? Have I got basically all my gear on me, I don't remember what we did with our weapons and our.
I don't think you're walking around with a big ass axe or sword. Like I'm assuming that you're. Yeah, something lighter.
Something light. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to perform a blood oath to my god of war,
Okay.
and death and piss.
Just in the middle of the tavern?
No. I'm going to walk back out to the side that is least eyes upon.
Okay, the backyard or the alley?
The alley.
Okay.
I'll
Side note, Claude, are you going with Bane or are you going back up to the rooms?
I'm sticking with Bane.
Okay, so you walk out with Bane. Bane, Claude is there. You guys walk out to the alley. You have two ways to get there. You can go out the front door and around to the alley, or you could go back through the kitchens, and there's a side door from the kitchens to the alley where they have deliveries and where they have a big pile for trash. So kitchen or front?
Well, we haven't been through the kitchen yet, have we?
Well, you
Yeah, we
went
have.
through the kitchen to get to the backyard, but you could cut through the kitchen to get to the side, to the alley as well.
I would say the front.
Okay, go
out the front and around.
There are people hanging out on the front porch, mugs of ale, just drinking, talking. You see some people, on the street milling about, people going up and down the block doing things. By this time at night, most of the shops that are on this main street are closed, like shutters closed, dark inside. So you go out, you kind of go across the front porch and around to the side, and you see the alley. It's dark, but Claude, you do have that lantern.
Yeah. Does it look well traveled? Well used?
Yeah, I mean, you see from both buildings, from the inn and the adjacent building, like there's like small piles of trash. You see some rats, in the alley. Not a lot, but
Did I ever have a recollection of my Pantheon's names? I thought maybe we covered something at one point, but I don't have it in my notes.
It's time for an intelligence roll under.
Oh, shoot. That's going to be hard to do. All right, here we go. 2 on the D20, right?
You're looking down this alley, and you have a flashback. There was a time, sometime after the traumatic incidents that happened in your life, when you were drowning your sorrows and grief over the loss of your family in ale. You were in a much bigger city, but you can't remember where that city was, but it was definitely a city. And in a drunken stupor, you stumbled into an alley, not all that different from the one that you're standing in now. You remember piles of trash. You remember rats scurrying around. You remember the rain falling and puddles of mud in the alley, and you stumbling and splashing through the puddles, like falling up against a wall to keep your balance. And you remember sliding down a wall, finding yourself literally sitting in a pile of trash, and hearing a low voice coming from further down the alley in the darkness, saying to you, "You were meant for the battlefield. You should be striding through puddles of blood and not mud." And you remember a name associated with that voice, almost as if you knew that that was a disembodied voice in your head, even though it sounded like it was in the alley with you. And that name that you remember was Zishuf.
I take my knife across my palm, my left palm.
Side note, you are not a literate man, as you may recall. You know some letters. You can make your mark. You know how to write your name. But for some reason at this point, you remember how to spell the name Zishuf. It's not a Z, it's X. X-E-S-H-U-F. Pronounced Zishuf.
I run the blade across my palm, drawing a lot of blood. I take my finger and I dig into the wound and pull along until my finger is covered in blood. On the side of the building, I spell out the name of my god. And I hold the signet ring in my hand, and I allow the blood to engulf the ring until it is covered in my blood. And I say, Zishuf, I have served you on many fields of battle. I need you to point me in the direction of the evil, and I will vanquish it.
Claude, as this is happening,
I'm looking on in horror.
Claude, I need you to make an intelligence roll under.
Yeah, it's a 2 against 11, so that works.
As you see Bane doing this, but more importantly, as you hear him doing this, you have this weird flashback. Like you've heard Bane speaking before. In the flashback, you're at the head of some column of travelers. But you're in front. You can hear people, horses, the creaking of wagons, the marching of footsteps, boots through the muck in a rainstorm. You are leading. Critter is in front of you on the leash, pulling you forward. And you could hear almost like off to your right behind you, you can hear this low voice. And you know it's Bane's voice. Now, in this flashback, you recognize it as Bane's voice. He was there, like marching through the rainstorm, through the mud, right behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear him literally saying a prayer, not all that different from what he's saying. But in your flashback, it was more of a request to bless him in the battle to come, to give him strength in the battle to come. And you remember him saying the word Zishuf. And you feel like that was real, like that happened. And in the flashback, there's a flash of lightning in this storm at night. And you see the silhouette in the distance. The silhouette almost looks like a large, tall tower, but then there's these weird kind of spiky shapes that almost surround the tower, pointing up to it. You see this silhouette in your vision at that lightning flash.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're back to the alley.
Yeah.
Bane, you perform this task. I'm going to need you to make a percentage roll.
As a side note, do I, after this vision, recall what that big tower is or should be?
You just know that that's where you were going.
Yeah. No recollection of such a tower.
Okay, I'm not exactly sure what this means, but I got a 00 and a 6.
Oh, 06. Oh, all right.
6%.
You called on your god. You have two imminent feelings immediately upon doing this. Number one, you should go get your weapons. Number two, for some reason, you feel like you need to go to the docks.
That's what it is.
Okay. You, I'm assuming, go back upstairs towards the rooms to get your stuff. Claude, you with him?
Yeah, I would think that Bane mentions what he's up to.
Does he?
No, I think I'm kind of entranced by what just happened, and I'm just going.
You heard him do this prayer, the smear of the blood, and then you just see him like spin and turn and start to head back to the front entrance.
All right. Well, all right. What's happening? What are you doing? And I just chase after.
Okay, you guys are going back in. You start heading up the stairs. Sarah, you've finished making your blindfolds and gags. What do you do? Muted.
I'm just sitting there waiting for when we're ready to go. I've got all my my stuff packed and ready.
While you're waiting for a sign, you hear the thumping of feet up a stairs. Leonard, you're also still looking out the window. The guys seem to check out both those those buildings.
After they disappeared from the area around the toilet, I would like about half a minute look still there and then turn around and probably go to Sarah.
Okay. Liber, you hear Bane coming up the stairs.
I'm just getting ready to go. I want to make sure I can get as much of my stuff as ready quickly as possible.
All right, you start grabbing your stuff. You guys see Bane, followed by Claude closely, heading towards the room to get his stuff. Oldrad, the door opens. Bane comes in, walks right over to his pack and his axe.
No word, Bane?
It's time.
Sarah, what do? You blindfolding and gagging people or not?
Someone has to wait with these people. Who's going to wait here? What are we doing? I mean...
Oldrad points to himself.
I think I will stay with Oldrad as well. After them.
What are we doing? Where are we going?
Something is coming. We must be prepared.
Claude.
Yeah?
Bring Critter here.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so you bring Critter into the Karamina room with Oldrad.
He's hurt, right?
Yeah.
Set him down, and
from a couple of sheets, I made him a bed to lay in.
You're gonna need him, so you lay him down, and then I say a silent prayer to Peshwick, and I cast Cure Wounds on him, Cure Light Wounds.
Even though it's a silent prayer, tell me what you were bequesting.
I beseech you, Peshwick, to heal this companion of ours so he can help us in our upcoming struggles.
Roll a percentile roll.
Oh, okay. 37.
Some part of you understands that Peshwick loves all living creatures. You feel the blessings within you as you enact this healing. What did you roll for the healing die?
I rolled max 6 on the die, and I believe it's plus my level, which is 4, so it's 10.
That is more than adequate. You yourself feel something odd, though.
Oh.
You feel like, as a conduit, that somehow Peshwick's healing flowed through you to heal Critter, but that you also felt healed.
Oh.
And thus, you regain 8 hit points, bringing you now to 25.
Yes.
The dog is immediately and almost miraculously healed. Like, there's still like dried up blood, but like the wounds are gone, Claude. Like you look at the dog and you're like, what? It's amazing.
How do you do that? Thank you, and thank your God. And I think by now Bane is stacked to the brim of with weapons.
Bane's suiting up. Liber, you're grabbing all your stuff as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah, you have a choice to make. You're either. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Liber.
I think based on what Bane is saying that we need to go, I think we should be taking them with us. We should all go, bring them with us, and just leave this place. Be prepared to get out of here all together.
Choices. Oldrad is determined to stay. And Leonard has determined to stay with Oldrad to help guard Jeffrey and Karamina as well. Sarah, you have a choice to make. Are you staying to help guard them, or are you going with Bane, Claude, and Liber?
I'm going.
Okay. Bivoj will stay behind to help guard in case either Leonard or Sarah, in case Oldrad or Leonard want to go with the group. Bivoj will stay behind if you trust Bivoj. He seems to be okay after having been put to sleep, but he has no recollection of what happened that put him there.
What's the time until our meeting at this point?
45
50.
minutes. Yeah. It's about a 5-minute walk to the docks from here.
I'm staying.
Oldrad staying, Bivoj staying, Leonard staying. Okay. So you got 3 people staying, 4 people going. All right, the 4 of you that are going, I'm assuming now you grab all your stuff. You have your weapons and armor.
Yeah.
You head out the front door. You start walking towards the docks. It is pretty late, so there aren't as many people out on the streets once you get past the inn. But you are approaching the docks. There's that small wooden palisade. There's like 1 guard there, and he's like half asleep sitting on a stool with a lantern next to him. As you approach the docks, you see about 12 fishing boats tied up along the docks. You see 1 like longboat, almost like a ferry, that's anchored about 50 feet past the docks in a little bit deeper water. All of you make wisdom roll unders.
Fail. 12 over 6.
I'm 2 over.
1 under.
Okay.
I'm
There's
getting
not a lot
there.
of light. There's moonlight, but not a lot of light. It's pretty dark. Claude, what are you doing during this process? Critter's with you. What are you doing?
I'll probably have my lantern up. And can we rewind a little bit and say that we tore a bit of the bedding of the Vincenzo?
Yes. For that, I will have you roll a d6 and tell me what you get.
It's a 3.
Okay. You feel like he successfully has the scent, so you start leading him. When you get out to the docks, though, you don't see him really pursuing the scent initially, so you feel like you would need to walk up and down the gangway between the different docks to give him a chance to catch the scent.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys are following Claude and Critter, basically, you see that Critter picks up a scent, and he starts kind of pulling towards the far end of the docks on the southern side of the harbor.
I will deploy my bow.
Okay. Liber?
I'm pulling my rapier.
Okay. As you guys get past and you're heading towards the last 2 docks, you see past a couple fishing boats. You see a more well-appointed small sailing ship that is anchored kind of in the dark past the southern dock. And you see a rowboat actually coming towards the dock. And it looks like there are 3 figures in the rowboat. It's hard to make out what they look like because it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Critter is pulling, and he gets to that last dock, and he's just
I'm gonna
ground and
turn into a run that way.
okay. You're at
And,
the last dock.
Come on, guys.
You guys are running down the dock now, and you pass 2 fishing boats, and you see that rowboat is still approaching the dock. It's about 50 feet away. And beyond that is the sailing boat that is anchored out in the harbor. You notice that the rowboat does not have a lantern. The 3 of them are rowing by moonlight.
Are there any vantage points around the dock that we could ambush or hide and wait?
There are 2 fishing boats.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're dead open.
I'm gonna head towards one of the fishing boats.
Okay, Liber, you head over to a fishing boat. You can step onto it pretty easily. It's rocking softly in the water.
Look for a nice little spot to hide. I'm gonna switch to my bow.
I'll
Okay.
join him.
Okay.
I'll
You
get in the other one.
Crouch down. There are crates. You can crouch down on the fishing boat, like hide behind a crate. Claude, the question I'm going to ask you is this: you were the only person with the light source. So you're standing on the dock with Critter, and you have a lantern.
Mm-hmm.
That rowboat is getting closer. It's now about 40 feet away.
Yeah.
Are you still standing on the dock with Critter and the lantern?
Yeah. I'm not gonna hide myself from having this light up here.
All right. So the other three of you guys have gone onto a fishing boat, and you're hiding. Correct?
Yep. And I'm already sighting one of the people on the boat.
Okay. So you have your bow. Liber, you have your crossbow. Bane.
Axe.
Waiting. Axe. Okay. The rowboat continues. And when it gets about 5 feet away from the dock, you see a person carefully stand up and kind of toss a rope over one of the posts and pull the rowboat up to the dock. Claude, you're about 20 feet away.
Yeah.
And
When they're getting within earshot, I start mumbling, like, Critter, slow down, and what's gotten into you? Basically putting on a show.
Critter's still kind of at attention.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just basically putting on a show.
Okay. You see that the first person pulls themselves up onto the dock, climbs up onto the dock. This person is wearing a hooded cloak, black hooded cloak, black leather armor, black gloves, black boots, everything all in black. And you even see that they have a scarf like wrapped around their face. The hood is pulled low, so you can't really make out any features from here. But the person doesn't seem to pay you any attention when they first crawl up. However, they stand up and they say, "Are you the harbor master?"
I'm still running after Claude with my lantern up. And
Are you advancing Critter towards them? Are you moving in?
yeah, I'm still running after Critter that way.
Okay.
And I'm
so
gonna.
Critter's not.
As I'm mumbling and yelling, like, well, not really yelling, but what's gotten into you, and just when I get past that guy, I'm just gonna shoulder bump him, like, oops, sorry, and keep going for a
To
bit.
be clear, they're at the end of the dock. If you
Okay,
shoulder bump them, you're shoulder bumping them either back onto the rowboat or into the water.
Okay, well, that's not okay. Then, yeah, I'm basically gonna get to the end of the dock with Critter and probably holding him there and just. I am still gonna bump him, maybe not
The lantern. So with the advantage of the lantern, you can see some of the features. As I said, this guy has like literally a black scarf over his face. His hood is pulled.
Yeah.
In his eye area, you could see, just based on the flesh tone, this guy looks a bit more like he would be from the Vep ethnic group, like a medium tan kind of flesh tone, black eyebrows, and you see like a little bit of black hair kind of, from his bangs of his hair dipping down. And
Yeah.
he says to you, "Are you the harbor master?" And you can tell he has an accent, like a southern accent.
Yeah. Well, I'm Feb as well, so. As I'm bumped into him, oh, sorry. I don't know what got into my dog, but no, I'm not a harbor master. No.
Are you a town guard?
Sorry.
Are you a town guard?
No, I just like to be well protected.
He says, "You do not work on these docks?"
No, I was walking my dog, and all of a sudden he I don't know if he saw a rat or something, and he just started running, and if you're being going have.
I will let you make a charisma roll under. I'll give you a slight bonus of 2. So instead of rolling your 12 or under, you need to roll a 14 or under.
Well, I got an 11, so there will be 3 under.
Okay. He nods. You see he pulls his face mask down, and you could see now he has like a black, but very nicely trimmed and manicured, like black mustache and beard, full beard. And he says, we are here. We're very tired. We have sailed up the river long ways. Can you recommend inn for us to stay in this town?
Yeah. Was there an inn across the street or something from where we were staying?
Yes. The
I'll give him that name.
Crooked Crow. Okay. So you suggest that inn, and he says, thank you for your time. And he reaches into a pouch in his cloak and he hands you 5 silver pieces. The other 2 men start to climb out of the rowboat. They all are wearing the exact same outfits.
Okay. Any weapons visible?
Make a wisdom roll under. Let's see how observant you are.
That's going to be tricky. No, there's a 10 against 6. So 4 over.
Weapons visible? No. The last man to get out of the boat is carrying a large bag with like a rope drawstring over it.
All right.
And so the guy that addressed you and gave you the 5 silver pieces, he says, thank you for this recommendation. And then he looks over his shoulder at the other 2 and he says, Walu, Katich Nabas. And the other 2 nod, and they start walking past you up the dock towards the gangway.
All right. If that was native Vep, would that be something I would understand as well?
Well, Vep is a ethnic group. There's no language associated with it. The language that they spoke is not something that you would be familiar with.
Okay.
I emerge from the boat, from the fishing vessel as they pass me and follow them.
Okay, after they pass you, you step onto the dock. You see that they are walking to the end of the dock towards the gangway, apparently towards town. Sarah and Liber, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to keep my bow trained on them until they're almost out of range.
Okay.
Easy range. And then I'm going to get out of the boat.
All right.
Bill, I think for that 5 silver, I will offer to guide them to the inn.
Oh, you offer that?
Yeah.
They say, the one who you spoke with says, oh, thank you. That would be very, very helpful. Thank you.
And as we're walking, I'm trying to strike up a conversation about why they're here and stuff.
I want to see if I can whisper to Bane before he, like, as he's like walking past me. I want to think, are these the people your vision warned about?
I feel an urge. I'm drawn to them. I don't know why. So it is possible. But the vision wasn't quite clear to know that if we were to find the blood or if the blood was to find us. It felt like something was coming for us. And I don't know, I'm just drawn to these 3.
Do I know the town well enough?
Oh yeah.
To get to lead them to a quiet, offbeat area?
Yes, you do.
Not too far from probably not too far from the docks, because they'll probably be pretty quiet as well, but a more ambushy kind of area.
Yes. As you guys are walking up the gangplank,
make some signals to the guys.
Bane, you got off after they passed you. Liber, are you following Bane? Or are you
I'm going to keep a little further distance. I'm going to follow, but a little further behind.
A little further behind. All right. Then bringing up the rear is Sarah.
Yeah. I want to be as stealthy as possible.
So I'm going to measure this in units of 30 feet. Bane, you are 30 feet behind that group. Liber, you're 60 feet. Sarah, you're 90 feet. Does that sound about right to you guys, or do you want to adjust that distance?
Good enough.
Good.
Yeah, and I'm making
cover that
some
road.
signals as to trying to point out where I'm going to, and figure a way to make it a slightly longer route there, so they might
Pause.
take a shortcut.
You're walking back towards the gate that leads to the to the docks, right? To go back into town. You hear that, like, you hear one of the voices of the guys say in this tongue that you're not familiar with, Wajid Ibadkal Samtu. And then the guy that you were talking to, you hear him say, Ja, Zevu. And they just keep following you.
Sorry. So, sorry, what was that?
I was trying to explain to my friend that you have been gracious enough to guide us to the sleeping house that you offered.
What language is that? Where are you guys from?
We are from Hazidas, the Western Kingdoms.
Okay.
Azkora.
Oh, can't say I've been there, but. So what are you guys doing down here? Here for business, pleasure?
Yes, we are.
You don't look like you're dressed for pleasure, but.
We are couriers. We serve a noble house who bring letters, a missive from noble house to offer for trades.
Okay. Interesting.
Go ahead and make a wisdom roll under.
Do they move in formation like soldiers that I would recognize?
That's a 2.
Something about his story seems not true to you. Like, maybe not true at all.
Yeah.
Bane, to address your question, they are they're following Claude, and they are walking single file. The one with the big bag is in the back. You guys turn and you enter town through the gate. You pass the guard. Let me just see if the guard has anything to say about this. He does. He goes, Ho there. Where are you coming from? The docks are closed.
Oh, so don't mind these. I was just here picking up my friends that were coming in. They were coming in a bit late because how the wind and stuff went. So
go ahead and make another roll, charisma roll under. Let's see how well that sells. That's right, Carafa.
Oh, that's 4 against 12. So 8 under.
The guard buys your extremely convincing story, and he says, well, all right, I suppose. You notice that...
go back to sleep, and I give him one of the silvers that I got from the guys.
Don't mind if I do, thanks. Have a good night, gentlemen. You continue, and once you get into the town, you start to kind of head around a roundabout way. The man, the one that you've been talking to, he says, how is it possible to find the magistrate for this town tomorrow in the light of day to make a meeting, speak with? Is this building where magistrate work is close to here where we are?
That would be a kind of bit hard to explain right here and now.
Yes,
it's probably better tomorrow. Just ask the innkeeper for directions.
Yes.
If I'm gonna try and explain it to you here and now, you'll probably forgotten it by then. And
yes. Very wise.
Try in the morning.
Bane, make a wisdom roll under.
And don't forget the mic.
Fail.
Okay. Like we said, you're about 30 feet behind. Now, after you go through the gate, the guard kind of looks at you and just grunts. You see Claude turn left down a side street. You're kind of maintaining your distance, I assume?
I am.
Okay.
Did you get my
passes-
signals?
He passes a row of buildings. What signals were you leaving for him?
No, just a bit of hand signaling, like going this way, that way.
Okay. So you're still following, and Liber, likewise, you see Bane go through the gate. You go through the gate, and you're about halfway down the block, Bane. And it looks like the three people who are following Claude are still marching in single file. It's kind of hard to see because the guy in the back has the big bag, and you could sort of see heads in front of him. So it looks like they're still following in single file. Liber, you pass the gate, Liber. The gate guard kind of looks at you and snorts, and then goes back to looking at this silver coin that he has in his hand. Claude, do you continue going straight for a couple blocks, or do you turn again?
Like I said, I was trying to get to the interesting place where we might do a little ambush. So whichever way that would take us, like I said.
So the lake is east, and you have about 3 blocks of buildings before you get to the main street. So
I don't want to turn on the main street.
Okay, so you're going to continue going straight down this side street for a little bit?
Yeah.
So you're heading south. Sarah, bringing up the rear, you pass the guard. And he looks at you and he's like, well, how many people are coming and going? Are you part of that other group?
Nah, I'm on my own. Have a good night.
He lets you pass. You are just far enough back where you see Liber turn the corner to the left to go down a side street.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to run up real quick to Liber.
Interesting. Liber, make a wisdom roll under.
1 over.
Okay. Uh-oh. That's not good for you. Liber, you are at full health. And as you could see the light from Claude's lantern. You could kind of see the silhouette, but you see they're marching in single file, so you can't see the total head count. But you see Bane, like just the silhouette of Bane, because he's 30 feet back from them. So you have moonlight. Liber, you feel a just shocking, jarring pain upside the back of your head. And you take 16 points of damage.
Ooh.
You are thrown off, like you're seeing stars. You don't know what happened, but just out of the blue, you just got hit by something solid in the back of your head.
Am I close enough to hear anything?
Well, you didn't hear anything. That's why I had you make a wisdom roll under. I need you to make a strength roll under, Liber.
That's not good. No, fail that too.
Okay. You feel yourself being dragged, and you feel like a gloved hand over your mouth. Do not make a sound or you will die, is what you hear in your ear as you're being dragged off of the road. What do you do?
Don't
make a sound.
Do you make a sound?
Sorry, that's my husband being weird.
I like that sense of humor. Do you make a sound? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna yell Bane.
So understand that it's more like.
Oh, okay. No, then I'm not. Yeah. I'm gonna go with it for now.
You can still make the sound, but just.
No.
Okay, so you're staying quiet.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can try to get to my dagger as he's dragging me, but I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay, you can definitely get to your dagger because he has one hand over your mouth and the other hand hooked kind of under your arm as he's dragging you back into the alley. Sarah, time to make a wisdom roll under. Better not miss this one. With a 6, that's going to be a challenge. Muted.
Still muted.
Yeah, 10 over.
Okay. Sarah, you come around the corner after your brief interaction with the guard. And you see, you saw where Liber was going. The guard stopped you for a second. You explained yourself. You go around the corner and you go to run to catch up to Liber. You don't see Liber. In the distance, you see the lantern moving where Claude is. But even from this distance, you don't really see Bane because it's dark. So you see where they're going.
Yeah, I have to run to the lantern.
Okay, you start running. Bane. You see the column of people following Claude. You see Claude's lantern.
Did I see Claude's hand signals?
No. You see the lantern. You see Claude. You see where he's going. Looks like he's continuing down this side street going south.
I'm going to close ground onto the guy in the back with the bag, and
Okay.
see if I can get close enough to differentiate how much room there is in between the three of them.
I need to know the method by which you're closing ground. Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just walking, speed walking, jogging, running?
I'm 30 feet back, right? So
Yep.
And we know this area well enough to know if I can go through homes or buildings and around and cut them off
Yes.
at some point. Okay, that's what I want to try to do.
So you're going to try to cut up.
I'm going to cut through a property and try to get
then
ahead
go
of
parallel.
them.
Go parallel, run, get ahead of them. I got it.
Yep.
I got what you're doing. All right, you start to do that. Claude, you still walking south for a couple more blocks?
Yeah, just start slowing down a bit.
Not turning towards Main Street. Sarah, you're running.
Sorry, I don't understand.
No, not Siri.
I want to.
Make
I
another,
wanna
make another wisdom roll under.
Oh,
One person's trash is another person's treasure, but I'm not sure who told her.
no, even worse.
Okay, you run. You see the lantern. It's going straight.
I
As
said
you're
I.
running closer. You don't see Liber and you don't see Bane. You
That's
just
okay.
see the lantern and you see a couple people following the lantern.
I want to follow, but at a distance of maybe 60 feet.
Okay. So when you get up to that proximity, do you slow down to a walk?
Yeah, and I'm going to kind of duck behind corners and watch, and then keep moving that way.
All right.
Find cover.
Claude, you are leading the way.
Yeah.
You notice that Critter stops and kind of turns back.
All right.
Not in an alert way, but like a happy way. Do you turn back?
No, I am gonna stop and check behind me. And
Okay. You see.
you guys hear anything?
Well, so you turn around, you see Critter looking, and you see what you think is Sarah, about 25 feet back, like walking behind you guys. But more importantly, you notice that the guy that you were talking to is right behind you, and the guy with the big heavy bag is right behind you. But the guy in the middle is not there.
Say, where's your other guy?
The guy looks.
Is he gonna
guy
know
you
where
were
we're
talking
going?
to looks, and he looks at the guy with the bag and he says, "Chauffeur, is just tell me." And the guy with the bag just shrugs. He looks around, he shrugs. Josso. I do not know. Perhaps he had urgent need to relieve himself. He will catch up to us, no doubt. Come, let's
shall we just-
proceed to the
Shouldn't
inn.
we just wait for him here?
And he says, We can wait perhaps a minute, but we are very tired. He will find his way, I'm sure. Smash cut to Liber. You're in an alley. The man's glove is still over your mouth. In an accent, he whispers to you, and he says, "Do not make any sudden moves." And you feel the cold feel of iron up against your neck. He says, "Where I come from, when we decide to kill someone, it happens quickly and with mercy. You are a priest of the one true God, yes? Nod your head. I will not slaughter you, priest. But you will answer question very quietly when I release my glove. If you do anything other than answer question quietly, my blade will be forced to move. Nod your head if you understand." He slowly removes his glove. And he says, "You will tell me where Karamina Nicolo is. You will tell me the name of the inn. If you tell me in truth, you will be released, and the one true God will have blessed you. If you lie to me, I will find you, and you will pay." He says, "Tell me where she can be found." Do you
I'm
respond?
going to give him the. I'm sorry.
Do you respond?
I respond, but I give him the name of the other inn.
Okay, make a charisma roll under.
Four. Well under.
He says, "Thank you, priest." He says, "I apologize for the pain in your head that you will feel tomorrow, but it is much better than if I had inserted my knife into your skull. Lay down. Keep your mouth closed." He reaches with one hand and a blade still at your neck. He reaches into his cloaks. You can hear him reaching around. And a moment later, he pulls out a leather gag and he gags you. He says, "I'm going to leave now. You will count to 100, and then you will be free to do as you wish." And you hear him dart out. Like you hear the ruffling of his cloaks. That's how fast he moves. Do you count to 100?
No.
Okay. Okay, what do you do? It's your call.
Is he running in the same direction where we were before?
He ran out of the alley going west. So it sounded like he's going towards town, towards Main Street.
Okay. I mean, is it the same direction where we were headed with the three guys?
No. Claude was leading them south along this side street. It sounded like he was darting from this alley to go straight west, back towards the main street.
Right. I'm gonna head towards. I'm gonna leave him. I'm gonna head towards our group.
Okay. Bane, you're still running at a parallel block. You get down a block, you circle back. You kind of peek around the corner down the side street that Claude was traveling. And it looks like the group is stopped. Like you see Claude and his lantern, and you see three figures, and it just looks like the group is stopped.
I'm going to try to move in on it. So I'm imagining that there are multiple, like, how houses next to each other you can kind of cut through.
Yeah.
So I want to cut back to the street that they're walking on.
Yes.
While still maintaining cover. And then, so let me get to that point and you tell me how close they are to me, what I can see.
You can move in darkness without needing to make a stealth roll to get, let's say that you're 120 feet away right now. You could get up to 60 feet away pretty easily just going from house to house, yard to yard.
Okay.
When you get to about 60 feet, you're kind of crouched behind the corner of a little cottage, and you're looking out down the street at them. And again, they've stopped. And it looks like the one guy on point is talking to Claude.
Okay.
Make a wisdom roll under, and I'll give you an improvement since Claude's lantern's illuminating the scene. So roll under 10.
I got a 9.
Okay. As you're looking at this now, you see Claude clearly holding the lantern and Critter. You see 2 of the men dressed in black, but not 3. And then you see Sarah. You do not, however, see Liber.
I'm going to get as close as possible without them being able to detect me.
Sarah, you were walking. Do you actually stop and engage with them, or do you walk past like you're some civilian?
Well, that'd be hard because I have the bow in my hand. No, I'll go ahead and first I'll look to see if I have access to a rooftop.
Yeah, I mean,
Easy access.
There's rooftops everywhere. You'd have to climb though.
Mm.
Remember, you're like 25 feet away. They stopped. So what I'm asking you is, did you stop?
Oh yeah.
You walk past them.
No, I stopped to assess the situation, and I was thinking, I need to get up top.
So what do? There's houses on the right and left.
Okay.
They see you.
They do?
Yeah, Claude turned around with his lantern.
Oh,
Critter's
he
looking
sees.
at you.
Oh, okay.
The 2 guys turned around at one point. They see you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just hold my
man
bow
says-
bow
man
and
says
arrow
to
in
Claude-
one hand and walk forward.
Yeah. The man says to Claude, "Is this someone you know?"
No, but it's not really uncommon for people to walk around with.
Make a charisma roll under.
Nope, that's 5 over.
Jadi Umsha. All right, initiative. Everybody roll.
Oh man.
Yeah, basically when
Today
I
we're going to use the D20 initiative system. So add your dexterity modifier to your D20 and hope that you roll high. Because I rolled really high.
I rolled
say,
really low.
with the tone of his voice, can I just smash my lantern in against his head?
Well, we'll see how initiative works.
23.
So you were saying
Bane with a 23. Sarah,
20
what's
plus?
4.
Uh-huh.
And I should still have the element of surprise.
And what
Well,
was the
you're 60 feet away with the element of surprise. Good luck with that.
Oh, shit.
All right.
what was the modifier?
Your modifier is your dex. So what'd you get?
Okay, my dex. That will be a 4.
Excellent, Claude.
Come on,
Go ahead and roll for Critter for me. You get to add a +2 to Critter's roll.
That will be a 7.
Critter equals 7. Good, fantastic.
It would be fun if it was roll low, but.
All right, Bane, you do win initiative. So here's what you see. You see Claude and 2 of the dudes standing to talk. You see them stopped. You see Sarah approaching in the dim light from the lantern. And then you see the 2 men in black act extremely swiftly. One of whom is striking out at Claude. The other one is dropping the bag and diving into it. What do you want to do? You could blow your entire move in action to get to them.
Yeah.
Did you say diving into the bag?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to use.
Not to crawl into it, to like reach into it to get.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm going to grab the bag and just smack his ass on the ground.
Well, you're 60 feet away, so you can move.
No, I'm going to use my turn to move in.
Okay, you're moving in. Next round, you will be within melee range. However, the first guy, the guy who you've been talking to, who seems so polite and full of good manners, is going to now attack you with a blade. Because I'm fair and just, I'm going to show you the roll that I had for his attack, so that you may quake in your boots and shit yourself.
Oh, jeez.
Because that 20 is going to inflict so much pain on you. Claude, you You're shocked at the amount of pain that you receive when he swipes from his cloak out with a small blade. You take 13 hit points of damage as he carves into your flesh.
Sorry, how much?
13.
13. Ow.
You might be asking yourself, how could a dagger do that much damage? Well, if it's sneak attack, then it does a lot of damage. And that was indeed his sneak attack action. And the only one that he'll be taking this route. Because you're no longer surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Although you may be surprised at the amount of pain you're feeling. Guy number 2 tosses the bag to the ground, opens the flap, and pulls out a scimitar, a curved sword. It is not common to see this kind of blade.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah, you're probably thinking that in your brain, like, wow, that's really uncommon to see that kind of blade as he swipes out at you and hits you. You take 8 points of damage as his blade carves through your armor. Despite your excellent armor of 17, he carves into your armor and inflicts 8 points of damage on you, bringing you to 19 hit points. They have acted because they're swift and fast, and you are now in a position where a critter, in an act of defense, is going to attack the man who just stabbed his daddy. So, Niels, I'm going to have you roll for critter. Go ahead and roll. He gets a +2 to his attack bonus.
That will be 11.
11 is +2. 11 total, or?
Total.
Okay. He jumps up and he bites into the black cloak, but he doesn't sink his teeth into the man's flesh.
Yeah.
This brings us to you, Claude.
Yeah. I'm gonna just smash my lantern into the eye.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
That's an 11, and that's a... That'd be a strength modifier for it as an improvised.
Yes.
Makes it 14.
That is just enough. Go ahead and roll a d4.
Just a 1.
Okay. You smash the lantern into him. The lantern doesn't break. Shockingly, it doesn't break. But you hear it playing against his head, and he's like, ugh.
Yeah. And after the hit, I'm just gonna drop it and start reaching for my weapon.
Okay. This brings us to Sarah.
Do I have a clear shot at one of these guys?
No. One of them has a scimitar that just slashed at you. If you wanted to take a shot, you would have to step back and then try to shoot him.
That means he'd get an opportunity attack on me?
Yes.
May I pull my sword and try to swipe at him?
You can drop the bow and pull your sword and attack, yes. Since
I'll do
you're not
that
needing
then.
to move, you can do that. Go ahead and
I'll
make
do
your
that
attack roll.
then. Let me see.
So you basically have no modifier. Well, I mean, you're at -1 for the melee. So your total to hit is +4, right? So go ahead and roll.
Yeah, that's 21.
Okay, you do hit. Roll damage.
Okay. So that's a 5.
Ugh. As you stab him, he grunts. Top of the order, Bane. There are 2 guys, and each one of them are beating up on your friends. You feel a rage building within you, like this. Remember when you felt that feeling? This is what Zishuf was guiding you to.
I'm going to. Which one is closer, the guy with the scimitar or the guy?
No, the guy
Claude.
who attacked Claude is closer, because remember, you're coming from the south. You had doubled back, so you're coming from the south. So that guy is closer.
And he's who I perceive to be the leader of this band of
Yes.
miscreants.
Yes.
Where is the bag that had the scimitar in it?
It is on the ground.
I'm going to grab the bag and put it over his head.
So you can try to do that. You would be between both of them. I want you to understand that circumstance.
Oh, okay. Let me try something else first. I want to hack at his arm. I want to relieve him of his arm with my battle axe.
Be clear. Guy number 1 is the one attacking Claude. Guy number 2 is the guy with the scimitar attacking Sarah. Who are you attacking? You are closer to guy number 1.
But I am within range of both of them?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to attack the guy that is attacking Claude. So I'll just swing, and whatever I hit is what I hit.
Okay.
That is a 25.
That's definitely a hit. What's that damage?
6.
Ah! He screams in pain.
Do I have a secondary move?
Yes. I mean, so you could move, but again, if it's a position where it would put it into attack of opportunity, that would happen. So what are you trying to do?
What I'm looking to see if I can do is if I can, after I lay the blow,
Yes.
I want to see if I can reach in from behind guy number 1 and grapple him to where he is now like a shield for me, so I can let the other guy know I got your guy. Like, this can stop right now.
No, that would not be possible this round. You could make that move next round.
Okay. For my secondary move, I want to scope out that situation and play it out in my head and position myself to where it will be more accessible next round.
Okay. All right. Guy number 1 is going to do this. He swings out at Claude. That is a 22 to hit for 3 damage, Claude. He swipes at you again. Claude, you're feeling a lot of pain at this point.
Could I parry that blow?
You could. You want to blow your action, you can.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a roll.
That adds 4 AC for 21 AC.
Yes.
21 AC. And sorry, you wanted to do what?
Roll a d20. Roll it and add your dex modifier.
12 plus dex 1. 13.
Okay. All right, so you are only going to take 1 hit point of damage. What is Bane's armor class? Bane. Armor class, Jesus, 20. Lord Vey. A blade swipes by you, Bane, but misses. The guy with the scimitar is going to attack Sarah again. Just so we know where we're at. That's how I'm.
Oh God!
That's
partial
how Google
TPK
Dice
incoming.
Google Dice Rollers rolling hard today, y'all. Hard. The scimitar is going to do 14 damage. Sarah, you are struggling. You're down to 5 hit points.
Yep.
He carved into you once again. Hardcore. And he yells out, after he swipes at you, he yells out, Wajid Mararu! This brings us to Critter. Niels, go ahead and make a roll for Critter at a +2 to the attack roll.
Net 20.
Excellent. Roll me a d4.
That's a 3.
So 7 total. And Critter has, with that nat 20, bitten the blade arm, who has swiped out viciously at his dad, bit the blade arm of the offender. And guy number 1 drops that dagger and is screaming in pain as Critter's teeth like just have bit into his arm. Nicely done. Claude, it is now your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I haven't drawn my sword, right? Yeah.
Good.
I was drawing my sword, and I'm just gonna take a swipe at his neck.
Okay. Make that
Crossed.
attack roll.
And there's another D20. Roll 20.
Okay. What is the damage for your weapon?
That's my regular D8.
Is that what is that, a rapier?
Just a single-handed sword.
Okay, so roll your damage.
Just a 1.
Okay, so it's 8 plus 1 is 9. What's your strength bonus? Do you have one?
Strength bonus is 3.
Okay, so you do 9 damage. He is like you hit him in the gut, like hardcore, and he's like, oh, and he cries out in pain. He is now disarmed and very wounded. Sarah, it's your turn. Just to be clear, the man who you were fighting with the scimitar has been mildly wounded.
Yeah. I drop my sword, hold up both my hands, and get down on my knees and say, I yield.
Interesting. Liber, you ran up to catch up with your friends, and you see a shitstorm happening in the streets. Just fighting happening, and dogs, and Bane with an axe, and just combat. You see Sarah drop down. I yield. She seems very wounded. It's your turn. You are within 30 feet, so you could run up and make an action.
Can I use my bow and
Yeah.
aim?
Yeah, you got your crossbow, sure.
So I'm gonna.
But I
do that.
need to know where you are. So are you firing from 30 feet away, or do you move up a certain distance and then fire?
About 15 feet.
Okay, so you split the distance. Who are you aiming at? So right now, Sarah literally dropped. You're coming up behind Sarah. And you see a man with a scimitar. Beyond that, you see Claude, Critter, and Bane fighting another guy. The man with the scimitar is the one that is literally facing you, and she just dropped.
I think that's a nice, clear line of sight. I think I'm gonna go
Yes,
for
it
him.
is. Yes, it is. All right, go ahead and make that attack roll.
17.
That is a hit. Roll that fat crossbow damage.
What? I don't have the. I think I switched up the crossbow. I didn't look up the damage in that yet.
I don't remember if that was. I think it was a heavy crossbow, right?
I think so.
Just roll a d8.
Four.
Okay. The bolt sinks into him and he kind of spins back. You feel like that was just enough of a distraction. Sarah, when you dropped, I'm gonna let you go ahead and make a wisdom roll. Wisdom roll under. And I'll give you
Yeah.
I'll give this to you, full disclosure. Because of the circumstances, I'm gonna say that you get to roll 10 or under. This is kind of like an insight check for those of you who have the 5e background.
Oh, no.
Okay.
17.
You fell on your knees in the hopes that this person was honorable, and
Of course he's not.
and he had his scimitar up, and then a bolt from a crossbow hit him in the shoulder and spun him. This brings us to the top of the order. Bane. Some shit is going down. Your friends are wounded. Although, to be fair, the guy that you guys have been attacking also seems very wounded.
So I grab who I perceive to be their leader number one.
Yeah.
And get him in a nice stranglehold.
Okay.
And yell at the guy with the scimitar.
He has been disarmed thanks to Critter's bite, which is really good for you. The other thing that you have the advantage of is that he dropped his dagger that was in his right hand because Critter's clamped down on his right hand. So I'm going to have we're going to do an opposed strength roll.
Okay.
I'm going to give him, though, a penalty because he's basically already half grappled by a dog. So you just need to beat his strength roll under.
Okay.
All right, what do you got?
I got a 2 under and 18 strength.
Yeah, so you come up behind him. You still got your axe in the one hand. You come up behind him and put him in kind of like a half Nelson. You got him. What do you say?
I yell, I tell him to call off his man or his neck is going to get broken right now.
Okay, you give him this intimidating threat. It is now his turn. He says, Jaliv Abu Das. Abu Das. And you see the other guy kind of like halfway between Sarah with a crossbow bolt in his shoulder. And he's like looking back and forth at you guys. And he sets his hand out and he drops the scimitar.
And I say, where's your third man?
Well, hold on. We're still in initiative.
Oh, shit.
Critter's still clamped down. You did not give him the release, so he's still, got the guy's arm. The guy is going to take additional damage. Roll a d4. What'd you get, Niels? I think you're muted or something.
Yeah. That was a 2 + 1 is 3 damage.
So the dog's just tugging at the dude's arm. All right, Claude, it is your turn. You see that Bane has clearly got this guy in a headlock. And you saw that the guy barked off an order and the other guy dropped the scimitar. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna put my sword up against his belly or soft spot without armor. And just basically keep him.
You have him on lock.
Yeah.
Okay.
And look around for number 3.
All right.
And I'm not giving an order to Critter to let go.
Okay, so Critter's got him clamped. Bane has him in a headlock. You have a sword up against his belly. Sarah, you're on your knees, hands in the air. The guy just heard this order, dropped his scimitar, and he's kind of standing between you and the other group, looking back and forth.
Where's the scimitar?
It's on the ground. He has his hands up as well.
Okay, is it close by? Can I crawl to it and grab it?
Yes.
I will crawl to it, pick it up, and then stand up and point it at him. Guy number.
Okay, so you go over, you get the scimitar, you kind of have it at him.
Yeah.
Liber. Are you reloading? Are you approaching? What are you doing? Takes a round to reload the crossbow. Or are you?
How far is the bag they dropped?
15 feet away. Like Sarah's 5 feet away from it.
I'm gonna get the bag.
All right, you walk over 15 feet, you go to the bag, you pick it up, or are you looking in it?
Is it like open if I can see in it without picking it up?
He opened the flap. That's how he pulled out the scimitar.
I'm gonna look into it without dropping my crossbow to start with.
Okay. You see 2 more scimitars. You see a rope with a grappling hook, and you see a leather bandolier that has like little pouches in it that there are 6 glass vials that have powder in it.
I'm gonna drop this for now. I'm just gonna drop the crossbow, pull out a scimitar, and
Okay, you have a melee weapon. Okay, top of the order, Bane. You got this guy on lock. He is very wounded.
Where is your third man?
I do not know. We were following this man with the dog. He was going to take us to an inn. Why have you trapped us like this?
Liber. Is Liber with us?
Yeah.
Liber. Okay. Liber.
Oh, by the way, you see Liber has like a trickle of blood from the back of his head running down his neck onto his nice clerical clothes. Like the back of his hair is like matted in blood.
I feel like you disappeared for a moment. You want to fill us in?
Yeah. Do I recognize if one of these guys, if the third guy is the one who attacked me?
They all look the same. I mean,
what,
not to be racist, but they literally all look the same. Like, I don't mean identical, but they basically are all wearing black hooded cloaks, black leather armor, black gloves, black boots, and the face mask. The only one that didn't have the face mask is the one is number one, the guy who's in headlock, and he has like, you could tell by his complexion, he is likely from the Vep ethnic group. He's very tan skinned, brown eyes, black hair, black beard.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure. I mean, I know he hit me over the head. I wasn't sure, like, if I saw if it was one of them or not. I could tell it was the other guy.
Pretty sure it's one of these guys.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell them in. So their third friend, he's the one who he attacked me. He dragged me into an alley. I told him, I sent him to a different inn, but he's trying to find Katerina. They're here to get her. Karamina, sorry. They're here to find Karamina.
So what is your true intention here? I'm saying to number one.
Oh. He says, we are to retrieve the Lady Karamina Nicolo.
They sent 3 assassins to retrieve 1 woman.
We are envoys. We have the, permissions to negotiate ransom to free the lady.
Bane, hold him tight, and I'm just gonna stow my sword
you are
and
the
start
ones who kidnapped
petting.
the lady? You know where she is?
Who? And I start petting him down for papers and stuff.
Oh. Okay, well, you reach into the cloaks. In one of the pockets, you find a small pouch with 15 silver. In another interior pocket, you find a rolled up scroll, and it is sealed with a wax seal. And that seal bears the symbol of House Nicolo. Same as the ring, like circular seal with the N and the 4 lightning bolts at each corner.
Yeah.
I hold the ring up and I say, looks like we have permission to open this seal.
He seems confused. He's like, how did you come by this? You must be the kidnappers of the lady who took her ring. You also see that he is wearing, underneath the robe, he is wearing a leather bandolier. And that leather bandolier has 4 pouches. And in each of those 4 pouches is a glass vial with kind of a crystallized powder.
All right. So, taking the note from Bane, I just open the scroll.
By the way, I just need to clarify, because like now we're sort of out of initiative. Have you released Critter yet, or is Critter still tearing at this guy's arm? Because he wouldn't be calmly talking to you guys if like a dog was still ripping at his arm.
No, I will calm down.
Okay. So you give the release command. Critter lets go.
Yeah.
The guy's like, he winces in pain. There's blood dripping down his sleeve and down his glove.
Yeah.
From behind him, I have him like this. I reach over and I open his cloak so everyone can see whatever he's got concealed.
Yeah. Well, bear in mind that the only person with a light source right now is Claude and the lantern. So
and the lantern is on the floor.
Yeah. So you guys can kind of see because you're close.
I tell guy number 3 to take off his outer robe, please.
The second guy that you
Yeah.
Yeah, first in line.
So you
I
and
called him
Liber,
guy number 3.
Yeah, you and Liber have him. You guys have him like
Dead to rights.
kind of, yeah.
I tell him to take off his outer robe.
He looks confused, and then he looks back at the number 1 guy, and the guy's like, Washi Atuda. And
Washi atuda.
And he takes off the cloak, and you see he's wearing the exact same black leather armor. He's got a bandolier, 4 of those little vials in it. And he just stands like in confusion. And then he seems to ask a question. He's like, Mojut Aviv Saka. And the first
What
guy
is he saying?
The first guy says he wants to know if you are the ones to whom we pay the ransom.
I'm not going to answer that one, but
As
I am
you
going to open up.
contemplate answering,
I am going to open up the scroll.
as you contemplate answering that, smash cut. There's 2 prisoners and 3 people guarding them. Bivoj, Leonard, and Oldrad, you're in the inn. It has been very uneventful. At one point, Jeffrey kind of woke up, and he's like, oh, my head. And he looks around, and he just kind of asks, like, what time is it? What's going on?
But I still.
I'm not in that room.
So, Leonard, how do you respond to Jeffrey?
No. Does the room has a window?
Yes.
Then and is it still light?
No. It's dark. It's
Yeah.
night.
And then I point to the window. Well, as you can see, it's still light out there.
Yes.
I would recommend you to get a little bit of rest
Knock him out
and
again.
don't make much of trouble.
Very well. He puts his head back down on the pillow. In the other room, Karamina is still staring up at the flickering lights. She says, well, I suppose since we're not going anywhere imminently, I might as well try to sleep. Or do you have plans of moving me again, Oldrad?
Not at the moment, unless something happens.
I trust that I'm in safe care, as you are a gentleman who's kept his word thus far. She basically pulls the blankets back, lays down in her bed, and pulls the blankets over her. I'm going to roll for Bivoj, and each one of you will in turn make a wisdom roll under.
Yes.
Ooh, Bivoj,
People hitting it up.
the least wise of all of you.
5 under 6.
6 under.
No, not you, Bane. You're not there.
Oh shit.
Only
6
Leonard
under.
and Oldrad.
I wrote 2, so that's 2 under 6.
Okay.
Oh.
Oldrad and Leonard, you hear some creaking, like the sound of like movement out in the hallway. It's perhaps somebody coming down the hall. And then it stops.
Does the door open inward or outward? I don't know if I ever asked that.
The doors all open into the rooms.
Okay. I would like to move behind the door to the side of the door where the door would still cover me as it is open inward.
Okay.
I'm
Right.
armored up and have the sword out.
You see the doorknob move. Did you lock the
Okay. No.
Okay. You see it move, and then it stops.
Okay.
Leonard?
I'm just if I hear that, I just load the D-crossbow and move to the door
Okay.
in my room.
You also see the doorknob to your room move, but not in an attempt to open it, but you see it kind of twist back and forth a couple times, and then it stops.
Is anybody tinkering with the lock on the door?
Nope.
any more movement from the?
It is silent.
Okay.
How long do you wait? Or what do you do? Both of you.
Well, I'm waiting for somebody to come in so I can have a conversation.
Do you wait? A minute goes by. Leonard?
Leonard probably thinks about it for a minute, and then basically what's the word? Stands directly behind the door, and wants to open them from behind into the room, so he's covered behind the door.
Okay. All right. You take on that position. About 3 minutes go by. And then you hear a very distinct sound of somebody coming up the stairs and walking down the hallway. And there's a knock at the door, Oldrad, that you are in the room of.
Okay. I don't answer.
Hello? It's a young voice.
Uh-huh.
Sir, there is someone who claims that they are here to see you.
Who are they?
My
name?
It's a man in. He said he's here to meet with you regarding a payment. He was wearing black clothes, and he gave me a whole silver piece to deliver this message. He said he is waiting downstairs in the foyer.
You can tell him to piss off. I owe nobody nothing.
I'm not sure I'm brave enough to tell this man that. He looked very.
You can use softer words, child.
Okay, sir. And you hear the walking of footsteps and then footsteps going back down the stairs. 3 more minutes go by. Smash cut back to the street fight. Claude, you said that you wanted to open the scroll.
Yeah.
How close are you to the lantern when you open it? Close enough to read?
Well, the lantern is probably down by our feet.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna kneel down there.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna reach down, pick it up. Is there like a fence or something to put the lantern on?
Yes.
Set it up there and then open the scroll.
Okay. All the rest of you have your people on lock, I'm assuming? Okay. Not letting down your guard. Claude,
Yeah.
you
Critters,
the scroll and you unroll it.
Yeah.
And have you make an intelligence roll under.
It's a 3, so that should work.
Okay. You see a very well-written letter. Like the penmanship is superb. Excellent. And you have absolutely no idea what language it's in. But it looks amazing.
Yeah.
At the bottom, you see it's signed. And that's the only thing that you could read. And it says Niccolo. Just the word Niccolo at the bottom.
All right. I'm gonna roll it back up.
Okay.
The guy is still bleeding, so I'm gonna let some blood of his drip on the outside of the scroll.
Excellent.
Then using the Critter's leash, just gonna tie it onto Critter and say, Critter, go back to the guys in the inn.
Critter looks at you with slight confusion, but more importantly, about a half block away, coming around the corner, kind of from the direction where Bane was, you see someone walking with a lantern, kind of towards your direction.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
Claude, I want to go back there anyway. Can I just take Critter with me? I'm really busted up.
Are you do you think we're safe with just the three of us against these two? Maybe the third?
Well,
I
I'll
think third
start-
went back to the inn.
I'm no good to you. So yeah, I'll start walking. If there's a problem, I'll run.
Okay. Then
So Sarah's taking Critter.
yeah,
Do we have anything to bind these two's hands with?
I was.
There's a whole
Oh, I've
length
got
of
an extra
rope and a
rope. I'll
grappling
leave
hook in
that.
their bag.
Yeah.
So are you tying them up
Yeah, their hands.
in front or in
Specifically.
back?
I want their hands in back.
Okay.
I want to know what these things are in the pouch. Also, I'm very curious about it because I see it on all these men, and I want to know what the significance of it is. So I start poking at his chest or at his bandolier, kind of poking at the vials and seeing if he has a reaction.
He says, "Please do not do that, sir.
Will you explode?
They're very delicate. Do not
Tell me what-
remove the cork.
Do not remove the cork, you say.
Please do not do this.
What will happen?
It will make a very bright light. You will not be able to see."
Ah, okay. So it's a
Flashbang.
distraction tactics.
Uh,
To escape? Is it to get away? Is that what you use it for?
yes.
I relieve him of his bandolier.
Okay. The other guy still has his bandolier. Do you take both of them?
I do.
Okay. Do you take the bandolier that was in the bag?
No, I put everything in the bag and
Oh,
take the
okay.
bag.
All right. Fair enough.
So, Liber, you're saying that you sent them to the wrong
I sent him to
tavern?
the wrong inn, but he's going
To
to
the
be
wrong
looking. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
won't be satisfied too long.
I was bringing him to the other inn as well. So
You see that the person walking towards you now is about 60 feet away, carrying a lantern and wearing the garb of one of the night watch constables.
as I see him coming, I'm gonna walk up to the night guard.
Okay. You approach.
and-
He sees you very bloodied, and he says, "Good evening, sir." He looks at you and he's like, "By the one true God, what's happened to you, sir? What's going on here?"
We were attacked by these fellows up here, and after a brief fight, we managed to get the upper hand, and we could use your help.
Well, of course. I mean, this is the fight. He kind of looks beyond you and he says, "Wait right here. I'll go summon more guards." And he runs to the end of the block. Runs, and he pulls out a whistle and he starts blowing his whistle.
Okay.
A few minutes go by and you see 3 more guards arrive. They all come over, and I'm going to need you to summarize what you tell them.
Yeah. Well, there's
You
now
name
3 of
drop,
us, right?
You name dropped Captain Elwig, for example.
Yeah, and it's only the 3 of us now.
Yes.
Just Liber, Bane, and me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were just walking.
Right. I don't want the whole story because we're running out of
Yeah.
time. So here's
Yeah.
you basically are summarizing that. Like, how much are you telling these guys that you were just attacked by these 2 guys? Or
Yeah,
are you
just
giving
we,
them
we
any-
were just walking.
Okay, so you don't
um,
mention anything about the Nicolos or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
And indeed, name dropping the
You
commander.
tell them
but-
about the bag with the bandoliers and the weapons. Do you tell them about that bag? Because Bane's currently holding it.
No.
Okay. Make a charisma roll under, but I'm going to give you a bonus because the circumstances are to your advantage. So you need to roll a
Yeah.
15 or less.
And name dropping the mate.
Yes, that's why you're getting a bonus. So you have to roll a 15 or less.
Well, it's an 8, so
Okay. The men take the 2 guys and they tell you that they're going to bring them to the jail. And they start marching them off towards town towards Main Street.
Yeah.
Smash
Well,
cut
keep a
back
good
to
eye
the-
on them because they're crafty fellas.
Yes, we will. Thank you, and we'll tell Captain Elwig in the morning when he arrives.
Thank you.
Smash cut back to the inn. There's another knock on the door, but this time it's Leonard's door. Hello, sir. Is there anyone in there? It sounds like the boy.
I try to make like fake yawn. What do you want?
Oh, I'm sorry to wake you, sir, at such a late hour, but there's a man. He's very insistent that he meet with you. He's waiting downstairs in the foyer. He has dark clothing on, and he's very intense, and he insists on meeting with you. He said there's something about making arrangements for payment, and he has payment to deliver.
Payment to whom?
He didn't specify, sir.
Give me some seconds. I basically hide the crossbow behind the door and try to open it and see if it's just the lady.
You see the boy, and he's looking at you, and he's like holding a candle.
Yeah. I'm not sure who this is, but I will need to wait for rest of my companions.
Okay. He seemed to like it was very urgent. Oldrad, you're hearing all of this, like through the door. Make another wisdom roll under.
Okay. 4 under.
Okay. You hear tapping on the walls. You look at Karamina, it's not her, because she's laying on her side facing you. You could see her fingers and her head's on the pillow.
Yeah.
You hear tapping from that wall. Not the common wall that you share with the room that Leonard's in, but the other wall.
Yeah, the one that was had Vincenzo in it.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, God. Open the door.
Okay. You see the
And I go
boy
out
in the hallway.
hallway.
He's holding a candle. He's at the door talking to Leonard. You see like Leonard peeking out.
Boy,
He turns, he's startled. He's like,
leave. Leave.
Yes, sir. And he walks away. He walks down the stairs.
Well, I
Leonard.
turn to Oldrad.
I speak loud enough for Leonard to hear me. I say, Leonard,
Yeah,
be ready. They're here.
I assume so. And the room next door has the door broken. Is it the room?
Do you go over to it?
Correct.
No, just check the aisle if I see anything.
Okay, you could see that door
Oh, the hall.
is not fully closed, because you may remember that it was sort of splintered by the power of Bane. It is not fully closed.
Okay, but nothing changed since I last saw the hallway, or nothing.
Don't see any light from within.
Okay.
I just say, come on out. Stop trying to be sneaky.
No response.
I'm standing out in the hallway with the sword.
Okay, no response.
I'm looking with the crossbow around my door and keeping
Come
them
now,
as
coward.
partial cover.
No response. Both of you make wisdom roll unders.
That's like 12 under.
Okay. The tapping
Um,
sound has stopped, but you do feel a little bit of an airflow.
From the window or the...
From the room where the door is slightly closed. from the
I go
ventilation.
back in the room with Carmina and close the door.
She's up now. She's looking at
Yeah.
you.
Your friends are here, or somebody is.
She sighs and then puts her head back down on the pillow. Not in a cocky way, not in a overly confident way.
Yeah.
Almost in a way, because you're pretty attuned to, insights with almost in a resigned sort of way.
Okay. Is my window open in this room? I forgot. I don't know if I closed it or not.
I would assume that you closed the shutter and locked them.
Yeah.
And it is still.
I go sit down on the bed, sword out on my lap.
You do. A few moments later, you hear someone coming up the stairs, and you hear a wince of pain and a grunt. And then a knock on the door.
Yes.
It's Sarah.
And I have Critter with me. I hope.
I go to open the door.
Yep. You see Sarah. She is carved up. Like needing attention, kind of carved up.
I bring her in.
And Critter looks fine, although you see that his entire snout is encrusted with blood.
Yeah.
But she looks messed up.
I bring her in and close the door and let Critter in and
Okay.
start to apply some aid
All right.
as best I can.
Okay. Go ahead and make a wisdom roll under.
It's like 500.
Okay. You do your best with bandages and torn up linens to at least stop the bleeding and bandage her.
Yeah.
Sarah, you are exhausted and very much in pain.
I tell the story.
Okay, so you relay this. Do you get Leonard to come in the room? Or do you just tell Oldrad?
I just tell Oldrad.
So she
I
begins to tell you the whole story.
But
Bane?
I'm being careful. I'm saying they came here to make a payment of a ransom for someone, and I kind of shift my eyes over to Karenina.
Incidentally, Sarah,
it says so.
I should tell you that when you entered the inn and went up the stairs,
Yeah.
you didn't see anyone. You didn't see any of the men in black.
Yeah.
She relays this story. Smash cut back to the street. The constables had taken away the other two off to jail. So, Liber, Claude, and Bane, what are you guys doing?
Heading to the inn.
Okay.
Yeah,
right to the end.
running back to the inn.
All right. So
Yes,
you're
please.
running. You run back to the inn.
Yeah.
Now, there were a few minutes between the calling of the guards, the explanation of the story. So I'm going to say that you're probably like 10 minutes behind Sarah. So by the time Sarah has told the story to Oldrad of what happened, you guys are just getting to the inn. When you arrive at the inn, you go into the foyer. You see, it's pretty late at this point. There's like 4 or 5 people still in the tavern, but that's it. Like the kitchen's closed. The innkeeper sees you guys. He's kind of like shocked at the amount of blood and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, "That lady that you travel with just came in here with a dog moments ago. She looked like she'd fallen down a well into sharp spikes."
I describe the men to him and ask him if he's seen anyone that matches that resemblance.
He looks and he says, "No, not tonight." And then you hear a voice from around the corner. I did, Father. And the guy looks back and he's like, what do you mean, Jonas? And he's like, there was a man that was dressed in all black and he came in and he bade me to deliver a message to them upstairs. I told them, but they didn't want to come down. And then he left.
He did leave. Did he secure a room, or did he just leave?
Oh, he just left after the second attempt. He left.
He'll be looking for another way. I'm going to head up to the room.
Okay, you do. Oldrad, in short order, you hear the other three members of your party coming up.
Yeah.
Leonard, it's you hear everybody else coming back as well.
I just peek into the hall as I hear them coming up and just tell them, did it go well?
Based on the amount of blood, you think it has not gone well. You're fairly certain that it did in fact not go well. Everybody seems very beat up and in pain. Also, it is almost midnight, which is the appointed time at which you were supposed to meet with the elders. You have about 5 minutes till midnight, which is just enough time to get over to where you need to go. But you'll need to decide who's staying behind to guard the prisoners and who's going to the meeting. Those decisions will be made on the next episode of The Lamenters. Thanks as always to everybody for liking, for subscribing. And if you'd like to support what we do here on the channel, join us on Patreon, where you can give me money to help me make things that are entertaining and informative. Until we see you again, happy gaming, everybody. Huzzah.
Well, hello, and welcome to Blayne Allen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.